look the part? The person I ship with in My Hero Academia would have to be Deku. Damn, Deku. Shut the hell up, Deku. Bakugo sounds nothing like that, and I don't know how the fandom has let it get this far. I blame all of it on this guy.
Deku! You're such a silly bucko.
If he hadn't have made that video, maybe we wouldn't be where we are today. However, I'm here to help you if you want to actually sound like Bakugo. I have a couple of tips that I want to give you, so listen up. First thing is a disclaimer. If at any point when you're trying to do the Bakugo voice, if it's actually hurting your voice, not exactly when he's yelling, but when you're just trying to speak normally as Bakugo. If it's hurting your voice, don't do it. You are banned from being Bakugo. Fuck off. In all seriousness though, if you're trying to do any voice impression or sing any song or do anything with your voice and it starts to actually like hurt your voice, don't ever do it anymore. That's a sign that your voice box is fucking deteriorating. The shit is melting. It's the same reason why you don't hear me doing a Black Star impression, even though I love Black Star. It's just not possible for my voice, so I just don't do it. But have no fear. There are probably a bunch of other characters that you can do a voice for that fits in your vocal range and you could probably do a really good job at. Maybe check out my Deku tutorial coming soon. To sound like Bakugo, stop screaming. For the love of God, stop. He's not always screaming. You don't have to do that, okay? A lot of people get too focused on the Deku that they forget that he's a normal human being and he speaks normally just like you and me. So if you want to have a really accurate Bakugo impression, what we're going to focus on today is how he speaks normally, and then you on your own can figure out how to Deku all you want. So let's get into the main components. Here is the step-by-step guide. I'm gonna slowly take my normal speaking voice into Bakugo's voice by doing a couple of things. Number one, place your voice in the back of your throat so it's more of like a airy sound. Instead of speaking in the front of your mouth, pull your voice kind of to the back of your throat. Then you're gonna wanna lower your pitch. So you're gonna start to sound a little bit like Shoto Todoroki or some random anime character. Just very airy, talking in the back of your throat and lower the pitch. Then you're gonna wanna add a little bit of a vocal fry. You can hear it, my voice is kind of crunchy a little bit, crackly. That's the vocal fry, or at least I think that's what a vocal fry is. Then you add a little bit of nasal and a little bit of a groaning sound. Those are the easy steps into getting into the Bakugo voice. I sound like someone's mother who's been smoking too many cigarettes. But there's two parts to doing a vocal impression. There's the voice and the accent. People put way too much effort and focus onto how the voice sounds and they forget about the accent. Now, for Bakugo, there's a couple different things that I've picked up on that he says differently. Words like Deku, he says like Deku. He puts a lot of emphasis on the consonants in those words, and he picks different parts of words to put emphasis on throughout his sentences, and then at the end of the sentence, he usually ends it with a growl. Oh. So just pick different consonants. By consonants, I mean letters like B, like T, like D, you know, hard sounds, anything that's not a vowel. Just pick random consonants in your sentence to really bite at and attack those consonants. Then at the end of your sentence, just end it with a growl. A little bit of
We need to have a talk about your quirk.
We need to have a talk about your quirk. The start of talk puts a lot of emphasis on T and then quirk. I'm just growling at the end. We need to have a talk about your quirk. Simple as that. So if I just put the voice on, I sound like somebody's mother who's been smoking too many cigarettes. I sound like a Simpsons character or something. But when I add the accent, it really does start to sound like Bakugo. And this is how Bakugo sounds, okay? I've had it with the, Deku, like he sounds like he's taking a shit all the time. Cut it out! Finish taking a shit and talk normally like a normal fucking person does. The last part I want to mention is how to practice on your own if you want to be a voice impressionist. Now, you can apply this technique to any character that you want to voice act. It's what I've always done, and from what I've heard from other impressionists, meaning I've watched one YouTube video where someone else said they did this one time. This is how you practice a voice impression and get better at it. It's 3 really easy, really simple steps. First, find a short clip of the character saying just a very simple phrase. Then you record yourself trying to repeat that phrase as close to the character's voice as you can possibly get. Then listen to your own recording and compare it to the original character's voice, see where things don't line up, try to find areas where you can improve, and try to pick up on the accent part. Like I said, a lot of people get too hung up on the voice and they forget about the accent. So the vocal components of it aren't really the challenge. I think the challenge for most people is figuring out how to say certain words to make it sound realistic. So the voice might not be the hard part for you. Try to listen to that short clip and pick up on how certain words are being spoken, how the vowels sound. Are they speaking quickly? Are they speaking slowly? Things like that. And then just repeat that process. Short clip, record yourself, listen back. I guess there's a fourth one now, compare. And then repeat. And you should have a solid vocal impression down. And you can do this for any character. And I'm going to be releasing a video soon where I attempt to learn how to do a new voice using this method so you can see just how I work through these things and how you can as well. No one starts out perfect. You need practice. I've been practicing not that long. It's if I had to guess, I've only been practicing, which means actually listening back to my vocals, comparing it to Bakugo or Clifford Chapin and picking out different things and trying to improve. I've only been really practicing like that for maybe 4 hours total. Now, it might take a little bit longer for you because I have like a sort of like an ear for things, so it's easy for me to pick up on certain parts of the accent or certain things. It might be a little bit more difficult for you. Obviously, don't compare yourself to me or anyone else. Everyone gets it at their own pace. And if you don't get it, fuck it, nigga. Who gives a fuck? Do another voice. Start with something simpler. I don't know. Thank you for watching. Keep your voice safe. Drink hot tea and honey. And come back next time when we do Deco! Yes, Scotland! Yeah, you little bitch. Come here. Okay, come here. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Can't handle us. So cool, baby, scandalous. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So cool, baby, watch it now. It's a